right, last but not least, my final topic is the Isla Instruments Caladan. I don't know how to pronounce it. Caladan, whatever. It took me a long time to understand it was Isla. I was always saying Isla. So it's gonna probably take me a while to get to Caladan. But that thing, I'm putting in my pre-order, like it opened up today, literally today. It opened up, I'm putting in my pre-order because that thing is like the answer to a lot of my dreams. Basically, it's like, it's basically an updated version of like a couple things that we've had in the past, but now we got more processing, more power, and more ingenuity. I think Brad is gonna like knock it out of the park with how they implement the things. I got an S2400, so I can attest to like the quality of like his pieces of gear. And I even got more than that. I got a couple synths that he was selling when he bought that big haul of synthesizers. I bought a MS-10 from him and a Moog Rogue from him. So then they still working fine. They're doing just good. They at the crib. So yeah, I can attest to like him being a tech dude too. So that's why he's so good at making stuff and coming up with ideas. He's been ripping stuff apart for a while. So this new thing he's got coming out though, is basically like a super synth. Now for somebody like me that use MPCs, and I never use my MPC in like computer controller mode, that's pointless to me. Like, I don't think the MPC can compare to like a machine when it comes to workflow on your computer with like the super dope sounds that Nature Instruments has. So what's the point of using it like that? Like I told you, I got like 20 keyboards around my room. I got everything connected to MIDI devices, the Mio XLs. I got 2 of them. So I don't use the MPC inside of like controller mode. I use it standalone 100%. So something like the Caladan is dope. It's basically a standalone hardware synth that is 8 different engines that they coming up with, DSP cards that you can put inside if you want to like. So the different engines is like FM synthesis engine, so you know the DX7. They got a mini Moog engine they coming out with, a SH, Roland SH engine, analog percussion, so you know the greatest analog drum machine of all time. We know what that is, the 808. So it's probably gonna have some 808 sounds in it, maybe some, if we going analog. Yeah, cause all the other dope drum machines are like more digital. So that's one of the only, 909 is like hybrid. So it's probably gonna have 808, 909 in that engine. It's got its own engine, so it's like a System 8 or whatever, where how the System 8 has its own engine. I love it. I got my System 8 right here. It took me so long. That's probably why I'm geeking about this one, because it took me forever to buy my System 8. I don't know why, but I ended up buying one used, and this one's got the Juno in it, the Jupiter, and the SH, plus the System 8 engine. So it's like 4 cents. That's how that little Caladan thing is. But it takes it a step further. It's even better, because it's plans in the future for you to be able to host VSTs in there. So it was companies that did that before. That's what I was saying. It's like more of a updated take on like some things that were out already. I forgot the names of them, but it was like 2 or 3 companies that had VST players for people like keyboard dudes who may go on stage and they want to bring like they sounds from like Absinthe on stage with them. So what's dope about that is like people like me were, let's say it's like, let's say I'm using like Arturia, just one of the Arturia synths, because Arturia synths aren't like based on like sample libraries. That's like, they literally a candidate to be able to put inside of there, because they got their own, like, it's not called DSP. I'm not gonna disrespect it and call it DSP, because they say it's not DSP, but they got their own way of creating the sounds. So if you can put those inside of that little piece of gear, man, I would be so geeked, because like literally the Analog Lab and Omnisphere are literally the only reason I even touch computers now. I'm 100% on my MPCs and synthesizers. So if you telling me I could put a couple of those synths from my V collection inside of there and have it on my desktop with all these, it's like 16, it's like 4 rows of 4 knobs, and it's crazy. It's a lot of buttons, a lot of knobs. It looks almost like a updated, a upgraded like Novation pad. Like a Ableton pad or something like that, or a drum, or a Kai 16 drum pad. It's like a better version of that. That's actually like a synthesizer. So I'm excited to get on the like pre-order list for that. They had like a live stream today. I couldn't get on. I saw a piece, but I couldn't get on the live stream because I was like doing some production work and some live mixing work earlier at the time they were having the live stream. But I'm definitely, I literally just sold like my Argon 8. I sold my MG1. I sold a couple cents that I don't use. I'm literally grabbing the money. I was just gonna put the money in the bank. I'm gonna just grab the money and just buy that. He said it's probably gonna be shipping like next year. That's the only thing I don't like July next year. That's like 10 months I'm waiting. But I remember people who got their Isla for like $900, and it was worth the wait, because that Isla is phenomenal. I mean, not Isla, that S2400 is phenomenal. So I'm not gonna be on one of the people that complain later when it's like $2,000. I'm gonna buy it now when I can get it for like $1,000, $1,100 like he's asking. So it's a perfect thing for me, because like I said, I've been loving my System 8. It's kind of the same philosophy, where they got all these engines inside of there and you could switch the engine. But the difference is the System 8 is just like basically just a plug-in inside of the gear, where you just host the different plugins. That one is an actual card. So it's like the engine you putting inside of there. So man, I can't wait for that thing. I'm a gearhead, so I'm just gonna do a little different than I've done in the past. You heard me say I'm selling a couple cents. Like it's like 10 keyboards in my studio, like right there. Literally, I'm looking at the Roland FA06. It's just leaning on the wall. I promise, I vowed I'm about to stop doing that. If something is leaning on the wall and it's been sitting there for 4 months, that means I don't use it. Unless it's something that's from '85 that I can't get in that condition again, I'm getting rid of it. That's not a synthesizer that I'm gonna miss like that. I'm getting rid of that, allocate my money to new stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I can always like feel inspired and all, like my MPCs over here. I'm probably getting rid of those. My 2000 XL, I literally haven't touched them in 8 months. So we shall see. But like, yeah, I'm getting rid of stuff like that to buy stuff like the Caladan, whatever it's called. Because like I say, it's a dope idea. Not many companies, that he's not the first, he didn't invent the wheel, but I look at it like I got a sequential time. I bought a cartridge for it that basically gave me all the old drum machines from the 80s inside of that one cartridge. That's how I look at that Caladan thing. It's basically putting all the most famous synth engines inside of these little DSP chips. You just put them in, it holds up to 8 chips. So it's that little thing can like, so basically it can replace all the synths in my studio, literally. Because I'm starting to use the MPC key anyway. I'm starting to touch the other keyboards less. They just sound modules at this point because I'm doing everything on the MPC key. So that's gonna really come in handy. I'm literally trying to visualize a little way to put it next to the MPC key, rack it up so it could just be sitting right there, because I'm gonna go crazy on the thing whenever I get it in my hands. Gonna have to wait till next year. But yeah, those are my 3 topics this week. Like I say, remember, hit that like, hit that subscribe, rock with me. We're gonna keep it moving, keep it going, and I'm out of here. About to get back to work. Peace.